President Obama should ask the DNC how they rigged the election against Bernie. Joining me now, 620 WTMJ radio host Charlie Sykes in Milwaukee. Trump will be campaigning in Green Bay, Wisconsin tonight. Good morning, Charlie. Help me understand.
Good morning.
With all the things Mr. Trump could focus on, especially today being Jobs Day, why is he pushing this rigged election narrative?
Who knows what goes on inside Donald Trump's head? I mean, that's a mystery wrapped inside an enigma inside of a riddle, right? Basically, the only way that this week could go worse for him coming to Wisconsin is if he goes to Green Bay and gives a shout out to the New York Jets, and nothing would surprise me at this point.
Let's talk about Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan is not going to be there at the rally tonight. And in fact, he sent out a fundraising email with a quote in it that was very interesting. Here it is. If we fail to protect our majority in Congress, we could be handing President Hillary Clinton a blank check. President Hillary Clinton? I mean, the last time we heard language like this from Republicans is when Bob Dole was losing to Bill Clinton back in '96. Is Paul Ryan calling the election?
Well, he's going to be on my radio show in about 2 hours live, and I'm going to ask him that question. But this is something that Republicans have been talking about for some time. They call it the 1996 strategy. And basically what it means is that they bail on the top of the ticket, and all of the resources of the Republican Party and all of the donor money is aimed and directed at down ballot races in Congress, in the Senate. And I think that this may be the first indication that 1996 strategy is being implemented.
How about the fact that Paul Ryan won't be there tonight? How big of a deal is that?
Well, it's not a big deal for Paul Ryan. Look, Paul Ryan is going to be fine. He's going to win overwhelmingly next Tuesday. But the damage to Donald Trump in Wisconsin is considerable. Just a few minutes ago, the Speaker of the Wisconsin State Assembly, Robin Vos, issued an open letter to Donald Trump, which we published on our website, saying that he's embarrassed by the fact that Donald Trump is leading the ticket. And talking about his refusal to endorse Paul Ryan, said he might be able to repair the damage, but it cannot be ignored. His lack of judgment has got to concern even the most ardent Trump supporters. So the reality is that Paul Ryan is not damaged by the lack of endorsement, but this has created, this has left a real mark here in Wisconsin among Republicans, and it couldn't come at a worse time. And it'd be interesting to me to see what Trump says when he's in Green Bay tonight.
All right, we're talking what Paul thinks, what Donald thinks. What do you think? Can Donald come back? Look at these poll numbers. Can he bounce?
No, I'm not saying that the fat lady is singing, but the lights are definitely on in the dressing room here. It's not just the national numbers, it's the state-by-state numbers. And unfortunately, Donald Trump and some of his most ardent supporters seem to be in this bubble of alternative reality where they are in denial about what is happening and what needs to happen. So all of this talk about the intervention and the pivot, I just don't see it happening.
Then tell me what you want, Charlie. You have a massive amount of followers. You've got the hashtag next to your Twitter handle, Never Hillary, Never Donald. So what do you want?
Well, I don't get what I want. I mean, I spent a year trying to tell fellow Republicans and conservatives, don't do this, don't let this happen.
Okay,
don't nominate this irresponsible man.
Who are you going to vote for?
I honestly do not know. I honestly don't know. What I want is for Paul Ryan to be renominated and reelected. I want principled conservatives to continue to be able to stand up against these folks. And I hope we're able to rebuild the movement after what I think is going to be a disaster in November.
All right. You don't know how you're going to vote. A New York Times op-ed came out today from the former acting CIA director, Michael Morell, urging people to vote for Hillary Clinton. We have never heard him take a position one way or the other, and he has worked for both Democrats and Republicans in the past. Are you impacted by this?
No, part of I can't support Donald. I can't support Donald Trump. There's no way. I mean, I'm going to look at the Libertarian candidate, but I mean, for liberals, try to imagine what it would be like for a liberal Democrat to vote for, say, Newt Gingrich running on Ted Cruz's agenda. There are just some bridges too far. But look, there is really unease / panic, disillusionment among a lot of Republican conservatives about this. And I think what's going to happen, especially with the polls, it's going to be like a rock slide. You know, some of the stones are going to start going downhill, and then you're going to see an avalanche of people basically saying, you know what, we don't want to be part of this. We don't want the stink of Donald Trump on us. We're bailing. Now, does that mean that they go to Hillary Clinton? Some will. I think most will just simply, you know, hold their nose and maybe write somebody in, or maybe even vote for Gary Johnson.
Trump did turn off military families this week, some military families. Could this Mike Morell op-ed affect them? I mean, the CIA director, that's an important voice.
It is an important voice, and you know, in terms of the tone deafness of this week, the fact that Donald Trump and some of his ardent supporters, you know, in the alternative media, you know, continue to pound on this Gold Star family, really is, I think, disturbing to a lot of veterans, people who have been, you know, respectful of the media. This ought to be his core constituency. I'm not sure that Trump understands the amount of damage he is doing and just how offensive it is to be taking on a Gold Star father and a Gold Star mother. All
right, Charlie, thanks for joining us. And I'm going to listen up on your conversation with Paul Ryan later today.